It always felt very isolating, and I always felt very alone because it felt like everyone else my age was just like living life and I could barely walk. Hello, let's talk about how I went from this to this, what all I incorporated, what all did I do. We got a lot to discuss because I wrote out each year of the past 5 years and just kind of a brief summary, and I have bullet points so that I can stay on task. So I think we should get started so that it's not too long. And I got to show you my fidgets for our talk today. These have been the ones that I think about the most. So I have my Alien Bloodcore, which are double dyed green first and then black. And the green shows up the more you use them. And this is this month's Cindell of the Month, Bumblebee. And one's black, one's, yeah, I love these. So that's what we're playing with today, what we're fidgeting with to regulate our nervous system, because I've already filmed this once and I didn't love what was portraying, and it felt very, very squirrely. And so I was like, you know what? I did some thinking and I did some journaling, and I also talked to my best friend, and she always has like the best words for me, like to show me from the outside and give me that clarity. And she did that for me. So anyways, I want to give you a proper year by year, starting in 2019, a brief little synopsis. What did I do? What did I incorporate to get to where I am? I will say this is not advice. This is my story. It's not anything medically that you need to follow. This is just for story time purposes, because I feel like I have a pretty dramatic before and after. And that can be very appealing to some people, or to a lot of people, to everybody. It was appealing to me. But it's also important to know my goals are different than your goals. My body's different than your body. And my choices may be different than your choices. And they're choices that I live with and that I have to live with, in a good and a bad way, for the benefits and, you know, whatever may come down the road or whatever. So I've tried a lot of different things. It's been trial and error. I feel like that's all it is. When you think of like, oh, I'm on this yo-yo of trying to get my crap together and lose this weight for good, and you know, you make a little headway, but then before you know it, the holidays happen and you're 30 pounds more, and you're like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even, it took me months to get off 10. Like, it's just this constant ebb and flow, and it never really was that for me as far as like being obsessed about it. But I did notice that it was things that were making my health decline. It was making me have health issues that I shouldn't have been, because of poor eating, poor metabolism, poor whatever. And so I just wanted to get my life together. I'm like, girl, you got to do something for you. So that's what we're going to talk about. So in 2019, I had my last baby, my youngest. So he's 7 now. And that's when I really got serious about finding answers. I knew I was done. Like, he was the last one, right? And he was my third, and I breastfed him for 18 months, the last one. And I breastfed the others too, just different lengths. And I just felt like my body wasn't my own. I'd lost myself. I'd lost my hobbies. I felt like I didn't have that will. I didn't have that motivation. And it was constantly just the sluggish nature. I also dealt with pain and stuff, just a little. I talk about this as for 2020 when I started finding answers, but I wanted answers because I was experiencing so many issues, and I had insulin resistance, like confirmed by the doctor. During all of this, I have had medical supervision. I've had a regular doctor, all of that, helping me along the way, just holding my hand, doing blood work, yada, yada. So insulin resistant, pain, back pain. And it got so bad that I remember struggling to walk from the couch to the bathroom. And I was like, this is ridiculous. You're in your mid-30s. What are you going to be like in 5 years, in 10 years? What are you going to be like in 6 months? So I started getting answers, right? So in 2020, I experienced postpartum depression because I just had my last baby. I was struggling with that in a whole, you know, we won't go into depth, but it did carry over into 2020. And I I started biologics because I had went to the doctor, found out I had arthritis. So we started trying biologics, which if you don't know, are injectable medications that help alter your immune system to have a different response, because your immune system is essentially attacking parts of your body that, I'm paraphrasing. This isn't, do your own research, but I tried biologics and I tried different ones, and it felt like they were just creating more problems. Also started sharing that on social media, bits of my issues here and there, and it always felt very isolating, and I always felt very alone because it felt like everyone else my age was just like living life, and I could barely walk. And I even had an Apple Watch, and it would tell me that I was like at risk for falling. You know how it can like measure your gait and stuff? So back when I wore an Apple Watch, I would get those notifications, and I remember even posting them like on my personal Facebook page and like asking for help, because I just felt like I had all of these questions that no doctors could answer, or symptoms that didn't align with some diagnoses, and they checked for like MS and Lyme's disease and like all of these things that just always come up negative. And I'm like, then why am I so broken? Can somebody get to the root of the problem? Please. Please, I want to be a mother. I want to be a happy human being, but I'm in pain and I'm sad all the time. So, okay, that's also when I started my TikTok. And TikTok is really where I lived and thrived and grew for so long before I branched out to, the other platforms and stuff, especially this year, and really focused on it. But in 2021, by then, I had tried multiple biologics. My mobility became worse, like we talked about, the Apple Watch fall risk and things. That's when I really became obsessed with data, because I was like, well, what is my body doing? I want to know more. Like, can you hook me to a monitor 24/7? I need to analyze it all. I was just done managing my symptoms. I was done managing being sick and trying the biologics and it creating more issues. I'm also experiencing these other symptoms while trying to fix this one. I wanted the root and not the Band-Aid. Like I felt like I had all these like holes in my body and I was just putting Band-Aids on them. Like, okay, we're going to stop that leak. We're, okay, here's the next one. But there was still so many holes leaking. Do you know what I'm saying? 2022, 2021, I got off the biologics. I was done. I was like, no, I quit. Like I basically quit my arthritis doctor. Still went to my regular doctor and everything, but I started walking on my street to try and like build my stamina because it had got so low from not being as mobile for so long. 2022, I got serious. I started tired of waiting. I started at the gym after months of walking, and I didn't go in there. I was overweight, but I didn't go in there with the thought, I'm going in here to lose weight. No, I had just went on this mental and physical journey of I researched walking aids. Talk about, let me know what is coming for my future. I was trying to plan. The anxiety was like, girl, what are we up against? Okay, it might be a few months out. You think I'm joking? It got so serious. And so that's why I started walking. I was like, like I got scared almost, but in a like lit a fire under my butt kind of way. So I started at the gym. It wasn't to lose weight. It was to have strength, to have function. Can we walk about our day? Can we play with our children? Can we show up and not be exhausted at the end of the day by the time they get home from school, so that you still can't because you didn't have the stamina to withstand So I knew nothing about the gym and weightlifting or, anything like that. Should I do cardio? Should I lift weights? What do you even do with the weights? What's the proper thing? And I also had the pain still. It was better, but I still had a lot of pain. And I also had random injuries. I have a shoulder injury. I have just like these things that I was trying to alter workouts for, but like, is that an okay alteration? So then that would be a little bunny trail. And it was just a lot of information to consume, but we got there, right? We got there. So I knew nothing. So I just started watching other people online. That's the great thing about YouTube and all that didn't exist years ago, is you can sit in your house and learn. Just don't overlearn. Don't overdo it and then be like, I can't do this. I can't do it. I taught myself through YouTube, TikTok, and fitness creators. I chose people that were like authentically influential people. They either had certifications or you could tell that they were their real self. Our views aligned, you know, all of those things, but they would be like these really like ripped chicks, to be honest. Like I loved Hannah Oberg, ETK Fit, which I bought her programs several times. I recommend them. Beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Whitney Simmons. And these are still people that I follow. I don't like incessantly consume content like I used to or anything, but I really love when their stuff shows up on my feed. And Hannah Oberg, ETK Fit, and Whitney Simmons. Great people to follow that actually have like a, you know, like a certification and stuff. So my goals, they were to get stronger, have stamina. I think I'm skipping ahead. Play with my kids. Oh, and get out of a mental rut, because I still was having those issues. I was in pain. I felt like I would, you know, like it's already hard postpartum and trying to feel like yourself and trying to find things for yourself, but also going through the physical issues and the mental weight of, I feel like a burden right now to my family, you know, like whatever. And just like the internal battles that you go through, going through chronic pain and unexplained things and trying to find answers. It's just a mental battle. If you know, you know, you've been there. If you don't, then maybe you can empathize. And if not, just know it really sucks. Started getting more consistent. We're still in 2022. I started getting more consistent. Like I said, I became obsessed with data. And even more so as 2022 and 2023 came into play. So I used the Apple Watch and I loved it. I loved that the Apple Watch, that's not what I wear anymore. And I've used a couple more. But the Apple Watch did great at, I didn't want to be individually going in there and putting stuff in. I just wanted to be like, okay, I'm doing a strength training exercise right now. What is my heart rate doing? That's what was like, I love to see how my body is reacting to the things I'm putting it through. And so I loved that. And then when I wanted to take it a step further, I went into the Whoop. And I actually had started, well, I got the Whoop with them and I like worked with them and they gave me the subscription for that year for free. And that was really cool because I got to try it at a time when that was not something that was in my budget. And I got to try it at no cost and see what I liked. And the thing about the Whoop was it had the recovery and the sleep. And the more that I watched these people and the more that I learned and the more I deep dived, even from other people and male, you know, creators in the industry that weren't cringy, I started to learn that recovery was just as important as the exercise and just as important as the food, you know. So like the recovery was a huge thing. So I don't want to get all into that, but data is huge for knowing what your body is doing in response to the workouts and things. Because I found, just this little tip, I found if my heart rate when I was lifting weights would get over 170, 180, that's when I would puke. And because my entire life I had tried to do workouts. Like I remember working out for my wedding, which I got married in 2009, and I did P90X. I don't know if you ever did that, but I was in my living room on the top floor. The lady under me, I hope she was an old lady. I hope she couldn't hear well because I just feel bad for what she went through under there during my P90X phase. But I threw up like every day because I just couldn't understand. And I wouldn't even do the whole workout. I'd be like 3 minutes in and then I'd be sitting down and then I'd get the hot ears and then the coldness and then I'd be like, no. And then I feel like I'm going down and then I'd throw up and I'd feel better. It was terrible. Does anyone else have horror stories like that of P90X or like any of those? Oh my gosh. It got me looking pretty good on the upper though for the wedding because I was like a size 10, 12 and I liked my arms in my photos and stuff, you know. I guess maybe I just have good arm genes. I don't know. And so then when I did start lifting, they just came out. How long is this right now? Okay, 15 minutes. Another thing that I started looking at in 2022 was nutrition a little. Now, I could not handle much, but I realized macros was what these people followed, that were the people that I followed. They were heavy into the macros and not like a specific diet or eliminate this or that or yada yada. there's things like that that you can add on to macros, but they would count macros. So I found out my macros, and I could not do it, but I knew I could focus on protein, which was the most important thing for building muscle. And so I was like, you know what, girl, I can focus on protein. I can't do all that, but I can focus on protein. And it's clearly not steered me wrong, because I never added on the other ones. I just kind of keep it in the back of my mind. Oh yeah, it's got more fiber. Let's choose that option, you know? So macros, but kinda. Like, I used to tell people I loosely count macros, because if I get in my protein, okay. And if I didn't, no problem. Tomorrow's a new day. We're going to try again. Now, 2023 happened. I wanted to run. Actually, the first video I posted on here was me wanting to do a half marathon. And I can't even remember what it was called. And I privated the video. I'd like to go back and watch it. Would you like to see it? Do you want me to put it back? I found out I was not a runner. We found that out real fast, because I found out I have plantar fasciitis and a bone spur in my right foot, both. And it's probably, the plantar fasciitis is probably irritated from the bone spur. We won't go into detail, because when I saw the x-ray, I about lost all my cookies. What do you mean that's in my foot right now? Right now. But also, I can't do anything about it. So, well, I can. I could go to the doctor, but no. Half marathon plan, that fell through. That was short. We'll continue. So 2023 still. We're still consistent. My clothes changed more than the scale. And when I say that, I mean I could go down 2 or 3 dress sizes, but it may be like 7 or 8 pounds. And it's because I was building muscle, which weighs more, as I was losing fat. So when I started to notice this, I was like, what is happening? I've never heard of someone not losing much weight, but their size changing. So that sent me down a bunny trail. I'm like the research queen. I can find out anything. I'm the FBI agent you don't want to see coming. I found out about a body recomp, which is short for body recomposition. Man, it was like the universe was like, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you do it. I mean, it was what I was supposed to do. But if you don't know, I won't tell you a whole spill about it. But body recomp is when you're eating either at maintenance or in a deficit, which just means the calories you're supposed to sustain your life as the current, build that you are. Or a deficit means you're eating slightly below that so that you can bring down building muscle at the same time as losing fat. Did I say that? Yeah. I was lifting so heavy. I got so strong. And then I started deadlifting. Oh, couldn't tell me nothing. I was a thick girl deadlifting. I had the confidence of I don't know what. Lay a red carpet out for me right now. Big girl with I found a new level of confidence when I felt like, even though I was fluffy, I didn't hate and I never hated how I looked. I just was like, it'll be better. I could feel better. I don't like sitting on rolls. That's just not comfy. And the fact that I don't have that anymore, it's so comfy. I can do whatever I want. I can do this. I can sit in a chair with my feet all the way up. Things that I love to sit in different positions. And now I feel like it opened that door even more. And I'm like, yes. I love that, the quality of life. So I started making better choices. So when I would try and do protein, I know whole protein's very important, but at the time I could only do protein shakes and protein bars or little things like that to stack protein, and protein powders in my oatmeal, that kind of thing. I went through a protein oatmeal phase, and making better choices wasn't a every meal type of thing. I didn't have cheat days I'm not somebody who can track my food. I feel like I would get too obsessed about it, and it's just not a good mental place for me. I couldn't log it. I couldn't do any of that. I just kept a mental note of how much I was consuming throughout the day and try and choose the healthier option. So then okay, if you're trying to do a whole protein versus a protein shake, I don't want to say synthetic, but an altered way of getting protein in a bulk amount versus eating meat, okay, or beans. So then I would try and do more chicken, and I'd be like, okay, for lunch, we're going to do chicken. So I made like chicken wraps, you know? So I just tried to make little better choices. If we went to McDonald's, okay, let's get a grilled chicken sandwich. Was it better? I don't know. But I just tried to consciously make those decisions over and over and over, no matter where we were, fast food restaurant or home or snacks or gas station, or we're, you know, busy, yada, yada. Now I still every Tuesday night eat at the ball field. The concession foods to this day. Dr. Pepper, if they have it, a slice of pizza is what I had the other night. I love the nachos. Like, I'm literally not depriving myself. Me deprive myself? No. I don't know if it's because I'm a tourist. I don't know. I'm not depriving myself. You've got to be joking. Also, the side of that of people that can't live like that. So that's me. That's me in my life. 2024. We are years into this now, into lifting the weights. We are still insulin resistant. I'd hit a plateau and I didn't understand. I'm fine. That was what that gave. Ross, I'm fine. I'm still insulin resistant. I couldn't lose anymore. Nothing was happening and I was doing all the same things. So I tried to work out harder. I tried to lift more. I tried to change up my protein. I tried to like do all these little things. And I started shifting from, I just want to be strong to, girl, you strong now. You want the muscles. Like, and I want the muscles, but I also want to be feminine. And I feel like there's that thing there, but to me, even seeing these like built up chicks, it was never like, oh, you're not feminine. I feel like that was just instilled into me, that having muscles, like I put on a sundress the other day in Goodwill and I legit looked like a jack dude in this tiny little boob dress. Cause I lost it all up here. I don't know. I ain't had nothing. I had them before and now, I mean, I was always a B. Now I'm like, girl, you an A in there? I don't know. It's gonna blow away. I shifted towards wanting muscles. That was my goal. And not just muscles, but like, I loved the feeling of training hard. I craved being sore. Like once you get in the gym, it became to me an obsession. Is it an obsession? But no matter what I did, my body wouldn't budge. And I tried to get help from my doctor. So we tried a couple of different medications. And I saw a little success, like 5 pounds here and there. But again, other symptoms just wasn't enough. I don't know why. My body was just holding on to it. That's all I can think. So where are we at? Okay, we're in 2025 now. Last year. Ain't bad. Okay, if this is like a 30-minute, is that okay? I hope so. 25, I found tirzepatide. I kept following my husband because me and my husband both were kind of on this journey together of like getting healthy. Lab results come back and not be great. Your health is declining, but you're still young. Like if you continue on this path, what are you going to do? So bootstraps, panties up, let's go. Bootstraps, panties up, let's go. That's how I think of it anyways. He's never said that, but that's what I was thinking in my brain that we did. So he went to the gym. I went to the gym months later. He did the shots, the GLP-1. Okay, he did the GLP-1. He didn't like the first one, so then he switched. I'm not going to tell his story, but we were both on this together. And so I saw him, I trusted him, and so I made the same decision for me. There we go. That's all I'm trying to say. So I found my GLP-1. And I do the tirzepatide compound. So much digging. I was still worried even though he did it and he was having success. I still was very scared, especially with the biologics and like not knowing how this was going to do my body. It was very controversial online. Is this actually a good, healthy move? But a lot of people were seeing improvements with similar things that I was experiencing. And so I tried it, but I was not taking care of myself the first time. When I tried this last year, I lost weight. I think I lost around 30 pounds last year. And I was only on it for a few months maybe. I lost it, but it wasn't how I wanted. I wasn't caring for myself. I wasn't drinking the water. I wasn't eating enough because I felt like I couldn't because I wasn't drinking enough water. And so the sickness propelled it further. And it's like each day I got more and more. And it just was not good. So I quit and I was like, this is not for me. I think this did a terrible thing for my body. And I even posted about it online. And I was like, if I could do it again, I would not do that to myself. And so then I had some self-reflection and was like, girl, you weren't doing what you were supposed to do. Like, you can't just take the shot, you know, take a GLP-1 and expect things to happen and you not care for yourself along the way. Try it again. 2026, I think January was when I got back on it. I tried it again and I actually took care of myself this time. And I feel like I've balanced life a lot easier this time. And it worked out so much better. It was it was a taking care of myself. It was doing a low dose of what my body could handle and still following up with my doctor, making sure everything's good, making sure I'm okay. And then I added NAD+. And so I've also been doing that through the same company as well. And what it's done for me, it's hard for me to open up about, because what it's done for me is it gave me my life back. Like, I feel like I got it back myself. Like, you don't have this after losing weight and then just have the muscle. Like, it's gonna look different. This is all built in those years in the gym. And it's like it was just hidden, dormant. Glad that I showed up for myself in those times and was like consistent and took care of myself and showed up every day. It gave me such a different confidence about myself and in life. And I just think that that's important along the journey. And the GLP-1, like, it's hard because it is so controversial for people to be like, oh, she just did that. No, me doing that for a few months does not eliminate all of the other hard work that I did to get here. Will I be here forever? I don't know. I hope so. I wanted to answer some questions too, because I said that I would do a little Q&A at the end of this. But first, I would like to say that I've had a link for a while, but I've never shared it with where I get my injectables. So I do, like I said, the NAD+ every other day. That's a story for a different day, but it has completely changed my life. I've talked to people about it in person. They've tried it and they have seen great results. I sleep better, so much better. I get so much more restful sleep, and data is everything because I can, I didn't even tell you what I use now. So I use the Whoop, didn't use the Whoop anymore. Now I use the Garmin Venue 3S. And I've had this for years. So we'll go into depth more if you want me to talk about how I track my data now. But my NAD+ days are my getting stuff done. It clears the noise of the mind clutter and not knowing what to do, and like knowing there's even a list there in the brain, but not even sure if you can get it all down. And then when you do get it all down, 2 hours later, you realize you forgot 5 of the points and now you're too far. My NAD+ days, seamless. And I will rave about it forever. I will sing its praises forever. I love NAD+ so much. No pressure to use the link. It's there if you want to use it, because this is where I get it. It's where I've always gotten it. I trust them. And you want to go through somebody that you trust. They're with reputable pharmacies. It's a reputable place. And I love that I can add the NAD+ onto it. And I've also added the Simorelin. I haven't taken it yet, so I didn't get it in my last order. It's another thing that I'm like, I want to research that. But I just got it at the time. I don't know why I got it. It was like an impulse add to the cart. But Simorelin may be one that we talk about. I'm not sure. If you use the link, but if you don't, that's fine. Okay, so cool. You can learn from me or hang out with me or do whatever. Ask me questions. I'll tell you the truth. So hang on. We've got yes, here's the questions. Do I do cardio? Yes and no. I don't do a strenuous cardio because as a weightlifter, you can exhaust yourself with cardio, like high intensity cardio. You won't be able to either A, lift as well if you do it before your lifting sets. If you do it after, you can tire your body out too much. You're going to be a lot hungrier the next day. And I will tell you, I did not go hungry. I was not starving. I would always eat if I was hungry. You just try and make better decisions. But cardio will make you hungrier, supposedly. I don't know. This is just what I've learned. But I walk. I like to walk either no incline or with an incline. If I'm feeling spicy, we gonna incline it up, but not too crazy. I still got the foot, but I walk. I like to listen to like EDM, like rave music, or like really poppin' hip hop or old hip hop, like from the 2000s or 90s, you know. I like to weightlift to music, but I like to listen to audiobooks on the treadmill because I don't want to just like jam out and walk on the treadmill. I just want to like chill a little, you know. It's more of like a mind. I'm just walking and just. What about abs and core? These are more workout questions, I feel like. I do have one on the GLP one though too. Abs and core, I never did an ab day. I just used my abs like when you would do proper techniques for other lifts, because I did one body or like different sets of body parts per day. How many days a week do I lift? I lift 5 right now, and it's split up. Monday I do shoulders. Tuesday, I do back and biceps. Wednesday, I do glutes. Thursday, I do chest and triceps. And Friday, I do legs. So that's how I have it split up right now. And somebody asked me, they said, I heard that you had to exercise 2 muscle groups, or the same muscle group 2 times a week in order to see results, or like yada yada. Well, even from the programs that I have bought from people, or signed up for, or went through, they also only train one time a week on that, on like that set of body parts, because recovery, remember how we talked about recovery? Recovery is huge. And if you don't allow yourself the recovery, you will actually stunt your growth. So that's something to look into. And then also, if you get on the GLP-1, can you get off? So I take a low dose, and yes, you can. And I was off of it for months and only had a 5-pound increase. And like, I was good with that. I still felt good, you know, whatever. I was glad that I was still able to keep it off, even though I didn't like how I lost it. But you can get off of it. I'm just choosing to stay on it right now on a really low dose because I like how I feel on it. I like how I function on it. It helps a lot of things for me and symptoms that I have. And so I just take a low dose. I'm not on it to lose any more. I'm just trying to still be my healthiest self. But yes, you can definitely come off of it. And there's ways to come off of it that your body doesn't, you know, whatever. Just talk to your doctor about it. And they should know. And if they don't know, then find somebody who does. What's your arm routine? We got to talk about this because my arms... Oh God, we're at 37 minutes. My arms is more than just arms. Shoulders was my favorite day. And I did all of them. I did biceps, I did shoulders, I did triceps, I did chest. A lot of what you're seeing is all of that together. But shoulders were my favorite, and that's what I went the hardest on, I feel like, of any body part. So if you want to train like I did, just focus on shoulders and just murder. Mind demons into muscles. That's what I did. I was struggling. I was like, girl, you got to get it together. You got to get your body right. You got to get your mind right. All right, I have to go because this is far too long, and I shall talk to you soon. Bye.